let's face it, only 2% of your clients, everybody, are going to be ready to buy the moment you reach out. The other 90% are in some form of pain, whether it's active or latent pain, according to a study done a couple of years ago by Chet Holmes. So what is at stake if you don't follow up? I think it's important, B, that we understand this problem with Shift Nation. And according to Vendesta, we're going to quote some of the research that's been done by Vendesta recently, which is really important. I just want to highlight this one piece. The longer you take to contact a lead after they request information, the less likely you are to close the deal. Now, that might seem a little trite and a little obvious, but wait till you see how badly it impacts. The numbers are crazy. So we're going to give you guys 5 tips. All right. Number 1, you have less than 5 minutes. Literally, you have less than 5 minutes. That's why we asked that survey. If you wait any longer, the consequences are severe, and you are basically burning money on any lead program, whether you're paying somebody for leads to be put onto your calendar, whether you're generating them yourself, whether you've got seminar leads, you're working, whatever. And you know what's shocking? Well, shocking to probably you, Shift Nation, but not to us because we study this every day. B, take it away. What is the stats that are just making us like so surprised in this industry?
Yeah, so only 7% of companies actually do this, meaning that they only follow up within 5 minutes. And I personally don't feel like that's exaggerated at all. I've seen that in my career too, of just that's one of the hardest things for people to get a hold of is the follow-up process. So it doesn't surprise me at all. And then 55% take 5+ days to respond. Another statistic, sadly, that I also do see happen. So not shocking at all, but quite sad because they're following up with their prospects. These are people that want to work with them, are all responding to them, and yet it's taking 5+ days to respond, over half.
Yeah, that's really unacceptable, guys. Harvard Business Review did another study that backed this up. They audited 2,000 businesses, and they found that 37% responded within an hour. And then just look at the numbers after this: 16% 1 to 24, 24 took more than 24 hours, 23% never responded at all. And the average response time was, what is this, 42 hours? Eve, yes, that's exactly the head gesture that I have in mind when I see that kind of insanity. So, but here's the thing, right, is if huge companies are doing this and, you know, you guys are doing it too, you guys can have a huge advantage because you can pivot faster. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-person operations, as advisors, you can pivot much quicker than these large organizations. So that to me is actually encouraging. Here's the second principle. The longer than 5-minute follow-up causes an 80% decrease in lead qual. So you know how we get on the phone and then we qualify a lead? That's what we're talking about. The difference between getting a lead and qualifying them, because that's the next step in the process, right? It's not like all leads are fantastic. You got to qualify them. You got to sort them out. Some go into the nurturing bucket. So imagine that, you know, 80% decrease in your ability to qualify a lead. So if I bought 100 leads, then 80 of them become almost garbage because I waited more than 5 minutes. Now you might probably be wondering at this point, my goodness, Jeremiah, I don't have time to respond to everybody every 5 minutes. Well, we're going to give you some solutions for that. Number 3, 78% of leads buy from the first responder. Comment on that, Brianna. The first person to get back to them, 78% will buy from you. Go ahead on that one.
Yeah. So the big thing here is that the next one, right? Prospects engage when their timing is right. And that's the key, when their timing is right. So when somebody reaches out to you and they comment or they want to set up a meeting or things like that, they're ready in that moment to engage with you. They've dedicated that time to respond to you or to sign up for something. So they're in that mind frame. That's why you give them more than 5 minutes, their brain starts to do something else, they move on, things happen. So it's all about the timing is so big. So figuring out how to respond kind and quickly. You don't want to come off strong and be super bombarding, but there is a way to say, hey, I acknowledge that you did that. You know, jumping on a call, we'll kind of go over that in a little bit, but kind and quickly is key.
Number 4, you get a 391% increase in conversion if you respond in less than a minute. So that's why automation is so critical. So how do you do that, right? There's a landmark study that was done between MIT and Inside Sales many moons ago. Full disclaimer, this study was done in 2009. A lot has changed, but there are some amazing principles. And I always like to go back. This study made me millions of dollars even 10 years ago when I started implementing it. So I want to share it with you guys. This is so here's what they said. The initial dials to leads that become contacted, Wednesdays and Thursdays are huge for getting people on the phone. Now, this is in a call center environment that they did across thousands and thousands of calls, but one of the industries was insurance. So pay attention. So in what's interesting correlation is that the best days for webinar show ups are, guess what? Wednesdays and Thursdays. There's this thing that happens in our business minds. Wednesdays and Thursdays is kind of like the day we do our meetings. It's the day we're more open because we got Monday and Tuesday crushed and we got it out of the way. And then Wednesday, Thursday is kind of this mental leap to next week. So here's another piece of data. What are the times of the day you're most likely to reach people? Well, according to that study, it was between 8 and 9 in the morning in their time zone and 4 and 5 in the afternoon. Guess what times of the day people are most likely to respond to text messages today in 2021? 8 and 9 in the morning and 4 and 5 in the afternoon. So if you've got follow-ups, guys, you got FIFOs, block out 8 to 9, load up your SMS or your emails or your call blocks and fire those things out, 8 to 9, 4 to 5. And it's not a coincidence that those are the best times to post on LinkedIn as well. Brianna, why is that? What's the psychology behind that?
Yeah, so our team talked about this earlier, and the biggest reason is 8 or 9 in the morning is when you're just getting ready for your day or you're heading into your day. So you tend to check your phone and kind of get ready. And then 4 and 5 is just that time of day where you're starting to kind of unwind from the day, a little bit ready to go home. So people tend to just be more on their phones as they go. Whereas like even between like 5 and 6, most people are traveling on the road at that point going home. So 4 and 5 works well again because that's when they check their phones.
Well said. So let's give another study based on the power of follow-up. Some of you have seen me. This is one of my favorite studies that was done because it talked about how you get a higher response rate after more emails. Like some of us are like, okay, well, I'm going to send one email. If they don't reply, leads suck, right? Like that's kind of the big thing in this industry, guys. I was employee number 6 of a company that after 7 years was the largest generator of insurance leads in the world. 250,000 leads a month we were doing. And you know what the number one complaint was? Leads suck. And yet there was this 10% of guys that were making 30, 40, 50,000 a month. They went from working out of a closet to building a call center on the same leads. What's the difference? Follow-up. That's the difference, my friends. And if there's only one thing you get out of here today is do your follow-ups. This study proved that on the 6th follow-up, you had a 27% higher response rate than on the first email. Email 1 was 18, then it went down, and then boom, you hit them up on the 6th follow-up. You actually got a higher response rate. But guess what? Most advisors stop right here, right? I got a lead, great. They call it once, they text it once, they email it once, and I'm like, this thing doesn't work anymore, right? And then you stop here. Meanwhile, they don't like me. These lead companies are bad. This FMO sucks. No, guys, the problem is you, okay? I love you, but I'm not gonna sit here and say you're doing amazing. You gotta do better on your follow-ups, all right? Any comment on that, Eve or Brianna?
I'll let Brianna go. Yeah, you're the expert. I'm curious to see what you have.
Yeah, so this is something again, and I mean, I coach Shift, I'm one of the coaches there, and it's definitely something that we see. If people are taking the time to commit to responding to you, like they're committed, they're in this conversation. You just got to catch them when they're on the right one. But I would say there's a reason that we have some of our campaigns that run out to like 32 days past that. Like people have to be touched multiple times. So don't just give up. In the same way that you know to reach out multiple times with them, do the same thing in your follow-up as well. It doesn't just stop there. You have to keep following up, and that's truly what's going to change the business.
All right, let's talk about some of the tools to help automate this. So we've got live chat. That's a great way that you can, like there's chatbots that are free that you could just put on your website. We've got instant reply software. We've got email and texting automation, notifications via email and phone. You got your CRM and you got your pipeline task manager. So that could be like Wealthbox or Redtail or something like that.